Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Friday morning. Okay, let me check the time. It's like 7:22 a.m. right now. Let's check the calories. 565 calories. 565 calories burned. Came for the daily walk. You know, I have an exam this evening, like 7 o'clock in this evening. Microprocessors haven't really prepared really well. Hopefully, let's write something. I know I'm hoping for some marks. And what else? Came for the walk. Morning looks really good. The back side is Michigan. You can see Michigan over there. And yeah, let's talk about our topics. Yesterday I was talking about how to hit a $1 billion target. Let's say you have $1 billion goal. Like me, I have a goal of owning a BlackBerry company that's worth like 4.4 billion right now. It might go up in time, it might go down by time. It depends, it's going to be going up in time, but the rate is important because inflation and all the things are going to affect everything. Because after, let's say that the target is like 50 years of target, 50 years of patience. So when the time goes by, the money values go low. So if the company doesn't go really fast, it means, uh, let's say in 10 years it's 10 billion worth. But the 10 billion is not going to be a big money in 50 years. If it's 50 years and 10 billion, it's not a big money because in 50 years 10 billion is going to be really low money because the inflation is going to affect money values. You know what I mean? So it depends on the company. Like the company might get really good and run really well. The company might suck really bad and go down. It all depends. Um, but Apple company going in a really high rate. But if the Apple company go really down, I would buy that shit because that was my target. But the Apple company is really going to be expensive, and I don't think it's going to go down because the strategy they have is really amazing. It's always make them put into the top. When Steve Jobs was there, it was really good. I think still it's first. It's being a really good company. So the main topic is how to hit that $1 billion target. Just wake up and try, man. Just you have to be patient. That's the thing. I set the 50-year goal. It's a long journey. Like I'm not even sure whether I'm going to be alive by 50 years after 50 years. But I'm setting this goal because if you're setting a short-term goal and you're trying to prove somebody, you're caring about other people. Like you're setting all the short-term goals to show other people. But if you set a long term, you can strategize, make a good decisions. You know what I mean? And that will lead you to a better path than if you just in a hurry to achieve something to prove somebody. Why it's not even worth it. But and also that the main thing is how to hit the $1 million goal, a $1 billion goal. Um, just wake up and try. Like what you do in that time, it doesn't matter how many hours you sleep. You might sleep like 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, or you can sleep like 10 hours. It doesn't matter as long as you awake and all the time you are spending on is going toward that goal. You're good. And let's say you are doing a certain job, and you think okay you can hit that thing, but the job is making you miserable. You better not do that. You better find a job that make you happy, or that you like, because if your job is miserable, then it means you're not going to put much effort into it. And happiness should be the target. This is my target because uh, I'm going toward the business thing. If you have a other thing, like let's say you love painting, you can target for a great painter of all time, like in 50 years, and do that shit all the time. You know what I mean? Like you can set a big goal according to what you are interested in. But if you're a business, you can try to own a big company like me. Why I choose business? because I'm an engineering student. Like I'm an electrical engineering student right now. I should have become an engineer, but then I thought like you already know like you what you like, what you don't like. You already know that. Like when you do multiple stuff, that's why you had to test different things. If you don't try, like let's say you buy you testing bunch of foods, and when you taste a new food and it tastes really good, that's how you know you have to try different shit to figure out what you like the most. So when you try different shit, you find out what like this food is the best food I like because you tried that. But if you don't try, you never know whether it's good or not, whether you will like it or not. That's how I found out entrepreneurship is really good because I was like, I was doing teaching, I like that. I was doing gaming channel, I like that. And I was doing pranking, public pranking, I like that. I was doing nursing, I didn't even like that. So I tried a lot of careers. Like nursing sucks because the hospital environment and dealing with patients and staying there for a long time, it kills me. So I thought, okay, this is not my career. When I am back home, that was my target, like becoming a nurse, because my mom said, my sister said to my mom that if you come to Canada and if you become a nurse, there's a good money in it. And at the time, I didn't know what to do. My target is to become a doctor back home. I was taking biology, so I wanted to become a doctor, and then the courses are really hard, and the becoming the odds of becoming a doctor in back home is really low because they only take 3 people out of a school and put it in university. It's not like everybody can university like in Canada, but in back home it's really tough to become a doctor. Like you have to be very competitive, you have to be the first 3 and you have to memorize all the shit, and then you become a doctor. But in Canada, anybody can become a doctor if you are ready to spend 8 years. But it's not like that in back home, and they respect doctors really well. If you are a doctor and if you are an engineer, you are like a god to them. The entitlement they have for themselves. Like that's how the back home is. Then okay, I thought, okay, let's become a doctor. Mm. Um, but it didn't really go very well. First time I was even scared to do the exam. I thought I will fail because I'm behind most of the students, and I know if I even do the exam, I'm not gonna be a doctor. Like I will end up with something. I'm not. Then I quit. I was afraid. I was moving to Colombo. I was living in Maunia. Then I moved to Colombo, and my mom said, okay, you want to continue or you want to do something else? Like my sister preferred nursing, so I started nursing in a private school. And yeah, the day was fun. you know there are not much boys studying nursing. There are a bunch of girls and all the stuff. And I was like a kid at the time. Like I was like 16 or 15-year-old something, because I was too early to study nursing. And then I studied. Everybody looked at me like a kid, and they liked me really well. I was like a kid over there. And every time, whenever they have stuff, they always give me, and it was good times when I studied nursing. And yeah, then I figured out I worked in a nursing like hospital as well. Then I figured out it's not going to be my career because I hate that shit. It makes me miserable when I stay in the hospital, dealing with patients and all stuff. So I thought it's not my career. I was working as a nurse, but I was thinking, okay, what about if I become a doctor? And even if when I go to hospital, they treated nurses not very well. They treat doctors as really good. So I was okay thinking about going to high school back home, and doing the courses again to become a doctor. So I went to high school and did it, but by the time I was finishing the high school, I got the PR to Canada. I came to Canada. Then I was thinking, okay, what can I do here? Target is becoming a doctor. Okay, let's do the high school. I was doing high school and doing math courses really well. And here the high school is amazing. It feels really good to be in high school. You can wear whatever the dress you want, and you can do whatever you want. Like uh, that's how I came here. Then I was like, while I was studying so many books as well. Then I studied this one book. Uh, it uh, it it calls some parachute, like how to uh, find your parachute or something. How to find your parachute. That's a best book if you are trying to find your career, but it's targeted toward getting a job. You know, if you are a person you want to study something and get a job, you should how to shoot your parachute, or I don't know, man. Like this is a really famous book, and yeah, how to find your parachute, or how to something like that, something parachute. And that book is I read that book and I learned that okay, you can choose a really good career based on what you like the most. And that's how I had the idea created, finding the passion and all the stuff. I was watching videos, and even I was watching Alan Watts videos. Alan Watts video says, you already know what you like the most. You already know. You don't have to go and find somewhere else. You already know what you like doing the most. You have to find a way to making money out of it. Like he was also mentioning riding a horse. If you are really liking riding a horse, uh, ride that horse and try to make money out of riding the horse. And if you are really good at playing games, if you really like playing games, play games and try to make money out of playing games. And after I go for a long time, like right now, I realize he's really right. He's really right. And even as I analyze everything, because what's the point of everything? What's the point of entire thing? It's all about happiness, you know. I know you can get a good job, and you can become really people think becoming rich as a successful thing. That's where things go wrong. Then you choose the money, you know, instead of happiness. You choose some job to make money, and you don't even consider like whether that job is making you happy or not. You just do that. You don't even care about what's the consequence. You just do that job. You buy the car, house. The house became the American dream. Like you buy the house and that's it. Like that's your dream you achieve. No, man. What the fuck is the house is for? You're unhappy. You're paying that house. You're paying the money for the house, and then you're gonna die, and nobody's gonna care about that house. Like it's gonna be for your children, or then you spend the whole life doing some shit you know, like you buy the car to show other people, you buy the houses to show other people, and you buy all the dumb shit to show other people, and you spend the rest of the time watching TV, some other stuff, escapism. You put time on escapism, you play games, and you hate going to job on Monday. You're going to be miserable whole life if you choose a career just for the money. You know what I mean? And then I realized, yeah, Alan Betts is really right. Like, what's the point of having the money, man? Like, you can, after a while, you will see money is not a thing at all. Like, after 100,000, earning 100,000 per year, you will see money is not a thing at all. You know what I mean? Money is not a thing at all, because you're gonna eat three times per day. Uh, then you're gonna live in a house like for rent. Um, then you're gonna spend most of the time working, and if you're not liking your work, your life is miserable. Like work is a thing filled up most of your life. So if you're not liking your job, you're gonna be miserable. And also, Alan Watts says that if you do something you like the most, or that make you happy the most, you can become master of it that quicker, and you can charge a good money doing that. You know what I mean? That's how I chose the career. Like that's how I chose the career. That's why, you know, entrepreneurship is really good, because you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can do whenever the fuck you want. You can have all the freedom. But if you are in a job, you are in a certain limit. My 15 minutes is reaching, I better finish it fast. Okay, so you can do whatever the fuck. That's why I like entrepreneurship. And you can also choose a job like that. Okay, I finish it right here, and I will talk later. You know, my 15 minutes is reaching. If it's go above, I cannot upload here. Exactly 15 minutes. See you guys later.